New box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinneberg. Today I'm breaking down the final box office weekend in the month of August, which was August the 29th to the 31st, 2025. Break down the overall numbers domestic and worldwide for the year and preview all of the movies that are hitting theaters in the month of September. So my name is Max Dinneberg. Welcome back to Max Talks Box Office here on Max Talks Movies. So if you guys are new to the channel, guys, please hit that subscribe button. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, out of theater reactions, movie franchise rankings, and I do this video every single Monday. So if you're new to the channel, guys, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell if you're new. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on the box office? What are your big plans for the month of September as pertains to going to the theaters? And what did you see this past weekend? Love talking with you guys. So please comment down below. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. It's the best way to help support this channel. So without further ado, let's get into this past weekend's box office, which was the final box office weekend in August, the 29th to the 31st, 2025. And once again, Weapons got back first place after losing out to K-pop last week. Weapons dropped 32% in its fourth weekend, 10.4 million. It's up to 132 domestic, 233 worldwide. And the movie only cost $33 million to make. So I think a lot of people who love this movie wanted it to be a big cultural hit. And a lot of people have stopped talking about Weapons. But no matter what the social media conversation is, Warner Brothers and everyone involved here made some dough. As I said, the movie only cost 33 million. It needed to make around a 70, 75 just to break even. And it's already well past 200 million. So everyone is running to the bank, whoever was a part of this project, Zach Kreger, Warner Brothers, everyone involved. So no matter, yes, is Weapons as big of a hit as Sinners? No. But does that make Weapons not a success? No. This movie is a massive success. And then Zach Kreger will continue to be a director to watch. The re-release of Jaws is in second place. It made $8.1 million. The 50-year anniversary of Jaws got re-released this week. As I said, it is the 50th anniversary. So this movie was available to see in IMAX, Dolby, and 3D. And the re-release of Jaws did better than both new movies that hit theaters this weekend. We're seeing a big pattern here lately of re-release movies on their anniversaries doing very well, really since COVID, when barely any movies were hitting theaters. When theaters were reopening, they were re-releasing movies. And films like Revenge of the Sith did very well last year. Batman's doing very well right now. Back to the Future is doing a 40th anniversary in October. So movies are taking advantage of these re-releases. Jaws goes down as a Universal film, by the way, that's where it is from. So it's still showing that so many generations of people still want to see these old films in theaters for the first time ever. And just shows you putting Jaws in IMAX, Dolby, 3D. It's a different experience. And as someone who's seen a lot of these movies re-released, that movies I've never seen in the theater, it is an amazing experience to see these type of movies that are 20, 30, as Jaws is 50 years old. Maybe you've never seen it in the theater. Go check it out. It gives you a different perspective on the movie. So it's cool to see these type of films doing well at the box office. The biggest movie that did well this weekend from the new releases was Caught Stealing from Sony. It made $7.8 million on an around $40+ million budget. Now, again, Austin Butler is another actor who's trying to become, at this point, seemingly trying to become a big movie star, but that really hasn't come to fruition yet from his box office numbers. Again, Elvis was a big Oscar play and did pretty solid in theaters, but again, that's more because of, again, he was really a nobody at that point. Bike Riders did not do very well in theaters. Yes, he was a part of Dune 2, but again, he's nowhere near the main character of that movie. So Austin Butler, seemingly at this point, isn't someone who's going to drive box office numbers as a leading man. Zoe Kravitz has had a big problem with that, her career in leading roles. But again, her movie Blink Twice did very solid last year. And we'll see again. Austin Butler trying to be in that range of the Timothy Chalamet-esque range to see if he become a big-time movie star. Not yet for Austin Butler. And again, Darren Aronofsky's never been a director that has huge box office returns. So interesting to see what Austin Butler does next moving forward. Freakier Friday is in fourth place in its fourth weekend, only dropped 26%, 6.6 million, $80 million domestically. As I said, this movie is doing fine. Again, this is not a film that should excite people to make another one. It's not a film that gets you back as Lindsay Lohan being a big star in Hollywood. But the people who wanted to go see this movie, they saw it. The people who were not interested or maybe didn't like the first film did not come back to see this one. So, Disney's been missing a lot with their legacy sequels to pretty iconic films. If it was Enchanted or Hocus Pocus or Freaky Friday like this. So we'll see what Disney tends to do again also moving forward. In fifth place, just getting into the top five by a million and a half, is The Roses from Fox Searchlight, which is Disney. It made $6.2 million. This movie's budget is around $26 million. And as big of a fan I am of this movie, and especially Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, these are also people that have not led major movies as well. Again, you can say, well, Cumberbatch led Doctor Strange, but again, Marvel's in its prime at that point, and Multiverse of Madness was coming off of the success of No Way Home, and also WandaVision being the most successful Marvel TV show. So, Cumberbatch, Olivia Colman also, again, never has been a big movie star. She's been a lot more on the small screen than the big screen. And again, the reviews for Caught Stealing and Roses aren't great. They both have very mediocre cinema scores, higher RT score for Caught Stealing, but very similar audience scores. So no one's really raving about either of these two films. I think if one of them was a unanimously great movie for a lot of people, maybe it would do better. But The Roses comes in at number 5. When we look at the overall numbers, domestic guys this year, you can look at my top left. We have Minecraft at 1, Lilo and Stitch at 2, Superman at 3, Jurassic World at 4, Sinners at 5, Fantastic Four at 6, How to Train Your Dragon at 7, Captain America at 8, Mission Impossible at 9, Thunderbolts is at number 10. As I said, Weapons became the 13th movie in the $100 million club. We will see. Last year, when we got to the end of the summer, 4 more movies that came out in the fall got into the top 10 of the year domestically. So we'll see if that trend continues in 2025. Looking at the worldwide numbers, also, guys, here on the top left, you have Lilo and Stitch at 2, Minecraft at 3, Jurassic at 4, How to Train Your Dragon at 5, F1 at 6, Superman at 7, Mission Impossible at 8, Fantastic Four, First Steps at 9. So we will see also if this list changes as well, which could really mean that Marvel gets a lot of their films knocked out of the top 10 lists, domestic and worldwide. As Captain America and Thunderbolts are already outside the top 10, Fantastic Four hanging on as it just crossed $500 million worldwide, which is bad because we're over a month into its run. It's only made $500 million. So again, rough year for Marvel. Again, they'll try to regroup next year. So we are finally done with the summer box office season. It is now time for the fall movie season. August is always one of the slowest months of the year as pertains to box office, and it really proved its ugly head here in 2025. So coming out, guys, this week in theaters is The Conjuring Last Rites. Supposedly, this is the final film in the now 12-year Conjuring franchise. We will see how The Conjuring does. The last film was released kind of in the middle of the pandemic and kind of coming out of the pandemic, so we'll see. Splitsville, which released in limited release last week, is getting a much bigger release this upcoming weekend. And also, Disney is re-releasing Hamilton. Yes, the stage play with all the original cast, that movie that they put on Disney Plus back in the pandemic. They are now re-releasing that in theaters for the very first time for Hamilton's 10-year anniversary. So Hamilton will be in theaters this weekend. Next weekend, September 12th, we're going to have The Long Walk, which is the new film from director Francis Lawrence and based on the Stephen King novel, as well as the final Downton Abbey movie, Downton Abbey, the grand finale. That's also hitting theaters on September 12th. On September 19th, we have Him. That's a new horror film produced by Jordan Peele starring Marlon Wayans. That will come out September 19th. Also, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey comes out on September 19th. That's the new film starring Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. So we'll see if that movie can do anything. Margot Robbie's kind of first big leading role since Barbie. So we'll see if that, and again, Colin Farrell coming off of the success of The Penguin. We'll see how that does. Then if we keep moving forward, guys, September 26th is the final box office weekend of September. We have the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, One Battle After Another. That's starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn. That movie's in theaters on the 26th. Also, The Strangers Chapter 2 is also coming out on September 26th. The first film came out last year. They shot all of them back to back. So there's three movies. This part two is also coming out on the 26th. So what are your guys' thoughts on the box office? Guys, let me know down in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. It really means a lot. I'll see you guys with more videos very, very soon.